Conscious collaboration brings together entrepreneurs, change makers, and thought leaders. We aim to highlight the people that embody the idea of aligned mind, body, and business. Each week, we share, discuss, and learn from the various experiences and ideas of our guest experts. Through our discovery, we find a path to an aligned mind, body, and business.
What up, y'all? This is Emily.
And I'm Lisa, and we are the Conscious Collaboration. Yay!
My voice wanted to, it wants to crack like I'm,
Oh my gosh, my voice is starting to fail me. It's not because I'm getting sick. I don't want to get sick, but, I was around a lot of people over the whole Thanksgiving break, and I went to see Wicked. And I'm telling you, everybody around me was coughing.
Yeah. There's definitely.
Uh-oh.
I mean, true to the season. It's literally 'tis the season, right?
Yeah. Like everywhere I went, that was a closed space. Somebody was like coughing continuously, and I'm just thinking, okay, I'm going to earmark this will beware. But I haven't gotten sick. But last night,
keep up with your immune system and take advantage of the fact that we can still get some sunshine and
getting good sleep and everything.
Eat nutritious foods and good sleep and
yes. Yeah. At least we don't have the freezing cold like tundra weather that's happening up north right now.
No.
Yeah. It's very cold. It's like going to be the coldest ever.
Olivia was in Iowa over the last handful of days, so she was sending me pictures and stuff playing in the snow.
Tell her to keep her sicky germs up there.
No, we just had a conversation in the car this morning about how she's like, no, I like it to go visit and stuff, but I'd rather live indoors. I'm like, same girl.
Same girl. I can't take the Florida, the girl, everybody. But it's been fun. It's been a really surprising season. Definitely that fire horse energy coming in, I think.
Yeah,
I hear more and more people.
End of the year vibes are vibing.
Oh, girl, so much. It's going so fast. I've been hearing more and more people like in our Instagram, social media feeds, and the YouTube. A lot of people talking about the same themes that we've been uncovering in our jam sessions. So it does feel like, okay, it's affirming. Yes, it feels like things are moving in a good direction. And a lot of the things that we went through earlier in 2025 were for a really good reason. So I thought maybe we could just do another jam session and check in, keep it short and brief, because who has time now? Nobody has time.
I think all the energy check-ins are super valuable right now. So
they are. We could use them all. So let's just keep it real general, right? Unless you have something specific.
I got nothing.
Like, what's the energy around us right now, and what can we do to continue moving forward as wholly as we can?
Mm-hmm.
Not like as in holy, but holistically.
Holy.
Maintaining our energy, staying focused. What's been Steve saying? Did I say that right? What has Steve been saying?
Well, I did it's funny you asked that. I hadn't been super tapped in, but I did just listen to his energetic weather update yesterday. And one of the things he kept referring to, how he'll kind of latch on to something in a particular reading, and that'll be kind of the joke, like the inside joke of the reading. And he kept referring to the mountains of Florida, which obviously are non-existent, but that was kind of his running joke. But he was saying that, like, let me see if I can connect that example in the way that I heard it. So he was saying that the energetic weather update, so basically just like the same thing as we're doing right now, like an energy check-in, something about it was going to trigger or activate us to like just be compelled to do that thing that we've definitely thought about and just never done, and that could be anything. And so that was one of his examples, like, oh, I've always wanted to climb the great mountains of Florida. Like that just kind of,
I love that he said that.
But it could be anything from that to like,
yeah.
Or obviously someplace that has mountains, to like, what was the other thing he said? Go to a different, I can't remember, but just go to a different place for lunch or what, whatever.
Go to a different
whatever
coffee shop.
the thing may be, like that you've kind of had in the back of your mind for a long time and always kind of thought about it and wanted to do, like something about the energy will like compel us to be like, I'm just gonna go do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. The mountains of Florida, I always tell my kids, like the mountains of Florida to me and the kids when we're driving is when you're driving and there's like one of those hazy horizons where you can see like the thunder clouds and it looks like mountains in the distance. So we always say like, look, there's the mountains. We're headed that way. And you never get to them because
I always called the hill by my old house in Roser Park, I called it Mount Florida.
Yeah.
At the Conscious Collaboration Podcast, we are proud affiliates of Atapa medical grade red light therapy devices. Red light therapy boasts a long list of clinically proven benefits, many that I and many of my clients have experienced firsthand. You can be sure that you'll be able to train harder, recover faster, and sleep better with Atapa red light therapy. Visit myatapa.com, myatapa.com, or use the link in our Instagram bio to shop with the code COLLAB15, that's COLLAB 15, for a discount on your device.
Because you'd sort of be on that one back road and you'd be like, where am I? And all of a sudden you're on this steep hill, right there behind the hospital. It just doesn't even look.
That neighborhood has a lot of cool history to it, like Indian burial ground and like that giant cemetery is like one of the oldest cemeteries in the area.
The Indian mounds that are supposed to protect us, well, obviously the 2024 season could be, although you could argue that we were way more protected in that season than we could have been had either of those actually been a worst case scenario.
Right.
You could definitely argue that, but that hill actually is one of the mounds that are alleged to protect us from the storms, the native burial grounds. The hospital, which is the hospital that I used to work at, used to be called Mound Park Hospital.
Yeah.
And the building that they ended up moving this, the unit at the end of my time there, but the building that my unit was in the majority of the time that I worked there was like 110 years old at the time and had actually been through a Cat 5 storm in the early 1900s, whenever that one hit.
Yeah.
And so I remember when Irma was coming, which, was the big storm that I ended up working disaster team at the hospital, and it was looking really scary there for a while. Very much like Milton, Milton
that was super scary one.
It was going to be a category 4 or 5 direct hit. And so I was given my manager the 3rd degree. Olivia was really young then. She had just turned 2, I think. And we had a dog and a cat and like the whole thing. And I was giving her the 3rd degree, and she said, this building has been through a Cat 5 direct hit. And we just ended up in a conversation about that and the whole Indian mound thing.
Yeah, that's a really cool history. There is like a documentary and even like a horror film that's filmed in that area, like around the stories and the legends from it. And there's lots of like, if you go on the ghost tour, it talks about, I don't even know how we got on this subject, but if you go on the ghost tour, it talks about some of like the wanderings they see through the hospital and through the streets in that area.
Oh yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's pretty wild. This is so crazy, but our current energy is the current energy I keep seeing. I saw this in the I Ching mashup with Michelle. It's the energy of fellowship. It's got like these, it's inside of a cave, but also looks like inside of a human and like a gathering. And there's some bones around a fire. It looks kind of like ritual. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bones around the fire. Sky above and fire below. And it talks about tribal bonds that unite a group of people. Great success is possible out of this. And this is the current energy we're in, and it's continued from last week. And learning to respect the power of diversity, especially like in operating in a team scenario. Community strength lies not just in the numbers, but the diverse skills and collective resources. So we've been talking about the idea of like abundance being more than just money, financial flow, but also the resources, the people, the opportunities, like all of these things that help make us feel safe, connected. And that's the thing that we need during all of these big revolutionary changes is to feel safe and connected and secure despite everything crumbling down and changing around us. So fellowship is great for that. And the more diverse your group, the better. Like I was sharing with you in the pre-chat, how many people are coming to me in my DMs and just sharing like, they're looking for their people. I feel so blessed that I have this conscious collaboration and this group that like I feel really deeply connected. And a lot of people are seeking that out right now. And a lot of people are finding us through the podcast. I think that's really cool. They're realizing there is that connectedness, that like they love that there's this undercurrent, and that we all have that greater connection to source, or however you want to look at it there. There's a lot of comfort in that. And it's just like, it made me think about, I went to the studio back in the earlier days when you had like a new moon ritual. I went to a couple of them, like a ceremony or whatever. And we were talking about, it was the one where we had to do the eye gazing that we were, and, just talking about like, you can't make a puzzle without every person being their own unique, authentic piece. Like you can't be copycats and make a picture out. You expect there to be a complete picture. So it's kind of along those concepts. And we're shifting into the well. So that makes perfect sense, especially based on our last chat together. So the well, my camera has changed, by the way, on Zoom. It's hard to see. Like it wants to look at my face.
You got to hold it a little farther for it to focus.
Yeah, I think it's this new, like sometimes when I'm talking or reading I Ching,
it works better when you pulled it back. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets dramatic on me. Oh, see, if I hide my face, it works. It gets dramatic on me and wants to follow my face.
Yes. Yes.
Whatever.
It's funny I do some client check-ins and I think it must just be on iPads, but like the FaceTime will do that now, and it's funny because it'll time it sometimes to where it just looks like a really dramatic like reality TV cut or something.
Doing that, I feel like I'm in the office. It'll like come in like this. I'm like, okay. But the well is such a beautiful image of like thriving garden around this like ancient well, and wells can be so deep. So I love this as we're thinking about the forward energy. And there are quite a bit of change lines from internal to, just all around. So we are feeling a lot of activity at this time, and I bet it's going to tell us to be nourished as well, obviously. From a top line perspective, there is a fellowship with convenient associates, but warmth is lacking. A group of cordial people, maybe neighbors or associates, yet no great purpose unites them. That is okay. Civility may be less connected form may be a less connected form of community, but it serves its members all the same. Though the situation may not be terribly satisfying, neither is it a cause for regret. So that's like also the theme people are sharing with me. They're like, I feel like all my connections are surface level, all these friendships I've had for 40 plus years. Like, I really want someone that I can talk to, like you and Emily talk on the podcast, or, talk about these greater themes and like these deep realizations. And like some people just aren't comfortable going there, and that's okay. And that doesn't mean they're not our friends or they can't be our neighbors, associates, or people we check in with. It's just, seek out your people you can have the deep conversations with at the same time. There's nothing wrong in that. I mean, it's like people have the capacity, maybe not the willingness, or they just choose not to. And that doesn't mean they're any less of a person.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, I think, how you talk about dating, since we're always making these parallels. And I was thinking this too, when, a few minutes ago, when you were talking about people seeking out their people. And I think, again, I think we can talk about it in the same way, where it's like, it's good to be open and have that intention, but also like, being careful not to necessarily put too much energy into like the seeking out of, or the looking for, and rather, really, controlling the controllables, doing the personal work to make sure that whatever setting you show up as your best version of what you can contribute in that setting. And then by doing that and just having the intention and the openness, being more inclined to attract who is going to be your people, and keeping in mind that like not everybody is it wouldn't be a good thing necessarily to have like just large quantities of people that you're having these deep conversations with just for the sake of having them. So
I mean, we need times just to like be silly and lighthearted and surface level, I think, to give our brains a break. Like
that gives permission to open up, you know what I mean? To open up to the deeper levels.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, I do think there's always a lot of parallels between relationships and anything that we talk about. I think that's really great. But there are a lot of people looking and seeking that. And you're exactly right. Like being authentic and working on yourself and being in that energy is automatically attracting. You don't have to like advertise that. It's just people feel that and they see it and they come. And so it's like not that anyone's doing anything wrong. I love the suggestion that Steve says, like to put yourselves in different scenarios, like situations you wouldn't
do something seemingly small, but that's different from your normal routine. Take a different route on your walk, or whatever it is. Oh, I think he said like go to a different coffee shop or something.
Yes.
For your Saturday coffee, whatever it is, just like put yourself in a different environment and release any expectations. And
I think like the best, I know you do this a lot too, but like I go a lot of places by myself and unfamiliar places.
Yeah, I think people have a fear of that, in a lot of scenarios, and it's just so like that's just so self-limiting in my view.
I mean, it's intimidating when you start to learn to do that on your own, but that's when the greatest things happen, when you're not in your environment, and you have to be like really vulnerable and open and aware of where that you are in different scenarios. But it's so strength building to do that too. And just
not to make yourself uncomfortable to if you want something different than what it is right now, like you're going to have to be uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah.
And one of the one of the people I listen to a lot, he's not talking about it in this context. He's talking about it generally speaking in more of a health and wellness context, but it totally applies here. He says that aging is the aggressive pursuit of comfort.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so, the more that we are willing to, and not, of course, there's a spectrum here, and we're not talking about like dipping into just flagellation.
Yeah.
Flagellation.
Not the one.
Somebody let me know what word I'm trying to say here.
Not the one where you're gassy. The other
one. I don't think it's we don't want to beat ourselves up, but if we want to progress, we have to be willing to be uncomfortable a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's been said to me more than 3 times in the past couple of weeks, lean into the discomfort, and that's where the growth is. And that's come from like random conversations with people I've just met. So that is like a really significant theme.
Yeah.
And also like this energy and where the change lines exist within the interpersonal realm, it talks about those who mistrust their allies, spying on them and planning surprise maneuvers usually become trapped in their own nets. So avoid unnecessary plotting and scheming, for it's a sign of disintegration of your community. When there's such pattern and you see this beginning, put a stop to it immediately. Things will only get worse if you play games, especially now. So, I mean, resist any desire to try to out manipulate someone if you're feeling manipulated. And I haven't experienced that in my interactions lately, but that seems to be a significant theme just to call out. Quarrels and misunderstandings among associates have a way of settling themselves and often brings good fortune. Let natural resolution form between you, because fighting openly is not a good idea at this time. Imagine someone who is on a journey after a small mistake, has the patience to see the errors of their own ways before it's too late to change course. Sometimes only allowing for open disagreement can a group find its way. Each of us is likely to make a few missteps along the way, but with an open mind and compassion can still triumph in the end. So we don't need to put energy into any kind of like petty quarreling or trying to manipulate or out manipulate. Like just let things go along their natural course.
And remember that manipulation isn't always talking about, the malintentioned, like kind of this evil, action figure kind of thing. Remember, and I know we've talked about this or at least touched on it recently, but even like that tendency to people please is manipulate. Like if your action has the intention, even if it's subconscious, bring this to the conscious level of why am I doing any given thing? Because even if you're just quote unquote being nice or doing something for somebody in the hopes that they'll like you better or whatever it is,
exactly,
that is a form of manipulation. So I think just be aware that applies here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Like, I know we've talked about that a few times. Like, I think that's really important in this season. We even talked about that in discussing our food habits during this time. Fellowship within an exclusive group can bring regret or humiliation. When social contacts are elitist, divisiveness and unhealthy quarreling can result. This creates limitations for everyone. Again, just avoid the pettiness, discrimination, be open to others and their feelings. It's just really recognizing everybody on their own level. They may be really different around you right now. I imagine in a lot of different party gathering scenarios, work situations. And when guests gather at the door, enthusiasm is high and divergent agendas are not yet apparent. Such are beginnings of fellowship. Use these moments carefully. They are opportunities not to be missed. to foster goodwill among a group at the start of an enterprise or consortium. Avoid secret agreements. Goodwill is a fruit that blossoms in the light of transparency. Lots of party vibes here I'm getting. And how, like, maybe take note of how things happen when you intermingle with people from when you walk through the door. That's like a huge feng shui thing too. Setting the tone when you walk through the door of someone else's house, and really like pay attention to how you feel, or an event situation. And we talk about the well all the time. So like the things that we have to think about, the true things that sustain life and provide constant, inexhaustible source of nourishment. Human nature is basically the same. The passage of time cannot add to its dimensions nor take anything away. Still, just as the well can be deepened to produce clear water, we can enrich our lives by delving deeply within to tap our essential nature and reach the true source of spiritual nourishment. Beware of shallow thinking. And this is just putting a bow on everything we just said. A lot of people around us coming to us, seeking to have those deeper connections and conversations. And that's all through creating your own inner depth. You can't, it's not like being able to come up to you, Emily, at a party and say, entertain me with all of your deep conversation because I'm so tired of shallow thinking.
Right.
No, you have to like also do that work yourself to contribute. It's not like a, what is that? Dance monkey kind of situation. Like, it's not like that, like put on a show for me because you're so deep. Self-development is key to reaching down to tap the clear water. So if you truly want to experience that depth, you have to go there yourself. It's not something you're going to get from an interaction.
And that's all you have control over. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying before. Like, that's literally all you can control in this process to seek out others. So instead of putting that energy into seeking out others, create those qualities in yourself.
Yeah, and they'll find you.
Watch the magic happen,
Sounds good. That was good.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a good, quick energy check-in.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can take this with me directly into different scenarios that are happening right now in this week. So how about you?
Yeah, clock it.
What do you say we put this conversation inside of the Conscious Collaboration, our closed and private Facebook group, and see what everybody else is experiencing? I think it's just going to be a great continuing conversation. I'd love to invite those reaching out to us in the DMs to come on out and talk about it in the group. Everybody's super nice. And I think it'll be some good
11/11, and we didn't even do that on purpose. Obviously.
11/11, make a wish. All right. Well, so we'll see you inside of the group, and thanks for listening to us, and we will talk to you in 5.
Talk to you in 5. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank y'all so much for listening to our podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends so they can join our circle of collaboration on this journey. You can find us on Instagram at Conscious Collaboration Podcast, on Spotify, iTunes, and Audible, to name a few. Please join us next time for another deep dive into how you can live life in more alignment. Mind, body, and business. Send us your questions and comments in our DMs or email us at consciouscollaborationpodcast@gmail.com. See you in 5 minutes.